Hey gifted crafters, welcome back for another Saturday CrafterNoon. Thank you all for tuning in today. I see that a lot of people are in the chat and chatting away. Awesome. And if you participated in the trivia, that's always a lot of fun. I see a lot of people are getting some answers right out there that looks like they were a little bit tough, but I think some of you guys pulled through, so congrats on that. So if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and I hold these weekly live sessions to just talk about all things crafting. We range from items from embroidery, sewing, knitting, crocheting, and just so much more. So we like to share tips, tricks, and ideas, and if maybe you have an Etsy shop or a craft fair coming up, or if you're just looking for a quick little gift, this is the perfect place where we share all kinds of ideas with you. So feel free to jump into the chat, say hello to some friends, get to know each other, because we love our little community here and we just share all kinds of ideas. So we just might be able to help you out on your next idea for your next maybe something that you're selling, or just for a little gift that you'd like to give out. So before I go any further, let's say hello to a few friends I see out there. I see Crafting with Robin. I see Donna Phillips. I see Jackie Hallman, Jenny Owens, Judy Bauer, Linda M, Marge Neal, 1 Minute Tips, Robin's Quilt Basket, and Sassy. Thanks again for tuning in. And yes, I see a couple of people on the chat saying you saw me last night. I was on yesterday with my sister from Boricua Sewing and Crafts, and we sewed together a little pouch. So I kind of got my little clips in here, so I was able to put those in, and it's a cute little pouch, and it's has all kinds of goodies inside. So this is what it looks like. So it looks really cute, and it was just a little pouch that I was needing, so it was perfect. And so if you didn't get to see that, that's on her channel, Boricua Sewing and Crafts, and we were on last night. She usually does her happy hours on Friday nights at 8 p.m. So we have a couple of things going on. So I am a girl that loves the holidays, of course. And so we have a few today. Today is National Bowling Day, so if you're a bowler out there, you may want to just, throw a couple of bowling lanes. Maybe you'll get some strikes. And it is also National Spoil Your Dog Day. So for all those dog lovers out there, today's the day to spoil them. Maybe a little pampering, maybe a little, I don't know, little bath, little do the nails. Let's, fluff up the fur. It's just something for you to do. But it's also a very special day today because it is my daughter's birthday. So happy birthday to Gabriella. She's my daughter, and it's her birthday today. So it is August 10th, and I just want to say happy birthday. We kind of already talked to her earlier this morning and sang to her. That's kind of our little tradition with our family. Everyone always gets together and sings to the person, whether they're here or on the phone. But it was a lot of fun, and I'll be seeing her later today. So sure, she's got tons of things planned with all her friends, and she's just gonna have a great time. So I hope she has a wonderful day. So yeah, it's her birthday today. Yay! Happy birthday! Alrighty. So I saw a couple other things going through the chat, and I saw that there was a few people asking about how I was feeling. I am a little better today, getting better every day. Still a little not 100% there yet, but I'm feeling much, much better, starting to kind of turn that corner. So really happy about that, because this one really kind of was difficult to get through. And so I'm hoping my little pile of projects that's waiting for me and things to do now starts to pick up and steamroll through a lot of those. Oh, thank you. I see all the happy birthday to Gabby. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, she's gonna love that. I'm not sure if she's watching just now. Maybe she'll catch the replay later. she's got a lot of things planned, so you know how that kind of goes with those youngings. Alrighty, it is, let's see, we've got a couple other things that I wanted to touch upon. So I also did see in the chat that someone used my links to purchase the cookbook. Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate that. Anything that you guys could do to help the channel, I truly appreciate. We have some affiliate links and shop items that are out there, including our CD, the Crafting Tunes. So it's a CD that's out there if you haven't heard. It's all about crafting music, so it's kind of a pretty cool CD that you can put out there and play while you're sewing or crocheting or embroidering, knitting, you know, whatever your craft is. So it's a lot of fun. They're little toe tapping type songs, and I'm really excited about it. We recently donated some to a other YouTuber. She's actually one of my favorite right now. Her name's Power Tools with Thread is her YouTube channel. Her name is Becky, and she does amazing work. So I donated a few. She's going to have a giveaway coming up towards the end of the month. So really excited about that. And I think some people will really like it. So we're starting to kind of expand out. We also are heading over to Sarasota, Florida, which I know has had a lot of flooding and a lot of difficulty with the little storm that passed not too long ago. So I'm hoping I'm able to go into that area because my son was selected for states, and he's going to be doing stand-up paddleboarding competitions. So we're going to go to that, and we're going to support that, but I'm also going to support some of the local quilt shops that are in the area. So I'm hoping to kind of see what I can, if I can try to film some stuff. I'll see what's in that area, see what I can do. Not 100% sure of what shape the area is in since that storm has passed, but hopefully by the time we get there, it won't be too bad. So can't promise anything yet, but I'll definitely be visiting some quilt shops in that area, and I'll let you guys know what we find. Okay, so, oh, Evelyn, you're not late. You're good. You're right on time. Yes, yes, Power Tools with Threads. She's amazing. I absolutely love watching her. She does her lives like really early in the morning for the East Coast. So I'm an early bird, so for me it's perfect. But some others, you know, are not early birds. You may well just catch the replay on that. But she's a lot of fun, and I love watching her. So definitely, you know, go on over to her channel if you haven't checked it out, because she does really beautiful work. Okay, so what do we have in store for us? So last week we had some really bad weather here, and we kind of had to rush through our last project. And we did a little mini wallet that we sewed. And it has 3 compartments on the side. So it's like 3 different things that you can put, little cards, credit cards, things like that. And we were talking about that you can put a little can snap in here, or you could just leave it, or maybe put a little piece of Velcro. So it's a pretty neat little project, and we kind of were like losing electricity at the time. So I just wanted to kind of recap really quickly after we do all of the, hold on, I've got this here. After we had our fabric here and we had folded in the sides, and we've kind of glued those down and hit that with the iron so we didn't have any raw edges on the edge of the wallet, then what we did was we had made lines with our rulers. Right, there was specific measurements that we had to make lines on the rulers with our fabric pens, and then all we had to do at that point was just kind of fold it down on both sides, and then from here you were going to just fold it again. And at this point you had to decide whether you wanted to have a curve here on the edge, or if you wanted to just leave it flat. If you want the curve, then you could take like maybe a plate or something round just to kind of mark that curve here, and then that's what you would cut out. And then you can go ahead and sew the whole thing together. You'd just be doing, if you did the curve, once you've cut this out, you would be sewing on the curve, coming all the way across and all the way down. Now we did kind of touch upon the bulk. So you can see here that after I folded everything, you see we have a ton of bulk there. And depending on the machine you have, your machine may be able to just fly right through this, no issues. But I know I was going to have some issues with my machine. So one of the things that you can do is these inner pockets here. You can kind of take your scissors and just snip a little bit off of that so that your bulk is reduced. And that's going to help you because you won't have all this bulk to go through on your machine. And this part is not going to show. It is part of the pockets from the inside. So this is what would be your 3 little pockets here. So you won't have that bulk on the end. So that's just a little tip. I'm not sure if I mentioned that because we were kind of rushing because of the lights and we actually lost power. So I'm glad we did that. But once you reduce the bulk here, then you can go ahead if you decide to leave it square or decide to do the curve. You're just going to take your machine and go all the way around. And then once you do that, you're going to flip it inside out and you will have your little wallet. And you can go ahead and put your credit cards inside or whatever things you want to put in here. So cute, it's small. You can just throw it into your bag to put like maybe your little medical cards and things like that, you know, you don't use very often and you want to keep it separate from your wallet. You can do that with this. So just wanted to touch upon that because we did kind of rush through that and I really don't like that I had to rush through it. But with the power, I'm kind of glad we did. So we did lose power, but we did get it back. The neighbors had a number of trees. It was a pretty big tree, an oak tree that kind of fell. And it went right in the middle of the road where the entrance is, where we get into the community. So all the neighbors kind of came out and helped and kind of moved the tree and helped chop it up. So it was kind of crazy here. We couldn't believe that that big piece just kind of broke, and glad that it broke on the road and not on the person's house. So a little scary there, but all good. Oh, Donna says, my heart hurts for flooding victims across Florida and East Coast. As bad as the hurricanes were, flooding has to be the worst. Yeah, it's really tough because, you know, when you think about flooding, some people don't carry flood insurance and some people are not required to. But if you don't have that flood insurance and then these storms come through and that water is going to get in and you can't stop it. You know, you can do things to help prevent it, but if you're in that low-lying area, that water is going to come into your house. And once it comes in, you're going to have mold, you're going to have all kinds of issues. You really literally have to rip out the walls and start over because it's horrible. And if you have carpet, you can forget about that. You're going to have mold and mildew all over that carpet. That's just totally gone. So that's really tough for a lot of people to have to start all over again with that. And as expensive as things are nowadays, you know, it's tough. Really, really tough. Oh, Marlene's on the road to Naples. Awesome, Marlene. Well, stay safe and have a great time. Okay, so one of the things we also talked about last week was an Epson printer that I didn't actually unbox it. I just showed it to you guys. It's still in the box. I haven't had time to even take it out yet, but I'm trying to figure out how I can reconfigure this room and to fit everything the way I need it to be so I can actually get to it without having to stack things on top of it. So in the middle of that, we also looked at some keepsake quilting fabrics that I got, and I kind of started the planning on one of my other projects, and I'll show you that guide in a few minutes. So this week we're going to take a look at a new font that came out. It's by Creative Applique, and it's called the Good Morning Gorgeous font. And it's out there on her website. I kind of ran into it and I thought it was a really interesting font. Haven't seen anything else on the market like it. And I thought it was pretty neat. It's pretty inexpensive. It's about $6 to $7 and it gives you all of the alphabet as well as the numbers and symbols. And I thought that it was pretty cool. And I wanted to just kind of show you guys because there's a few things that you can do with that. Now, this specific font is very similar to a variegated thread. And if you're not familiar with that, this is a couple of examples of some variegated threads. You can see here how a normal thread color would just be that solid thread color here. The variegated thread has multiple colors, and I knew this red may not, the red may not show as much, but you can kind of see it with this one, where you've got two colors on here at least, right? Now, variegated thread is really cool. You can do a lot of things with that, and what's really nice about it is that you can see that two-tone color coming out on your project. The problem with variegated thread is you don't know where the color is going to land when you are using it. So you've got some darker spots and you've got some lighter spots. You really can't control, it's very difficult to control where the darker part of the thread and the lighter part of the thread are going to land. So if you think about, you know, how when you're using these variegated threads, you know, you're stitching out that project, but depending on how wide or how narrow it is, you may, like, if you think about, let's say a satin stitch, but just imagine it as a really wide satin stitch, right? So it's basically just going back and forth. When it's doing that back and forth motion, it's creating that design, but the color of the thread itself can't be controlled as to where that color is going to lie. You don't know if the darker portion or the lighter portion will land, and so you get that variegated look to it. Well, I think what was ingenious about this font is it helps to control where the darker spots and the lighter spots fall. So it gives you the illusion of that variegated thread, but it's not using variegated thread. So I'm going to show you a little example of that. So let me just pull these back to the side. So this is your variegated thread, and the threads that I use to stitch out this particular font was just normal thread colors. So I used a pink color. Oops, sorry. I used a yellow, and I used a really light purple, and I kind of should have used a darker purple so you could really see it. But that's the colors that I used. And they're just plain. This is just sim thread. These are the numbers. It's number 205 is the yellow. 810 is like that lilac purple. And number 85 is for the pink. So those are the three colors that I chose, and it's sim thread, so they are not variegated. And then this is just an example of just a regular variegated thread, and this one happens to be Sulky, the Sulky brand. So there's a difference between those two threads. Now this is what it looks like, and I still have it on the hoop because I didn't take it off yet. But you can see here, at least I hope you can see. I'm going to try to put it up really close. And you can see on the font itself that what's stitched out is a yellow, a pink, and a purple. But, and it's, I don't know if it's, you guys can really see it. The way this font works is that it is set, the design itself is set to leave it very open on the top, and then it became very dense on the bottom. So it gives it that illusion of the variegated thread, but you're not using variegated thread, and it controls where the color is going to land. So you see more of the yellow on the top, and then it's kind of hard to see, and I probably should have picked a better color, but you'll see more of the purple on the bottom, and then I have the pink kind of going all the way around. So a little hard to see on the camera itself, but you'll see it. I guess if you go to her site, you'll be able to see it better on your screen. But this font is, you know, truly amazing, and I love how it's controlling. It's that illusion of the variegated thread, but you're controlling it and being able to put the color where you want it to land. Which, when you do that, I mean, you can do all kinds of designs. And if you play with all the different colors, I mean, if you look, this is a sim thread spool color chart. Let me see if I can just get it out of the plastic so you don't see that glare. Okay. So just on this color chart, you could see down here on the bottom where the variegated threads are. Okay, let me grab that a little closer. That's the variegated threads. And then you have the regular threads, and you can see the difference where they're more solids, right? So variegated thread, you've got the multiple colors, and then you have the solids. And these are just the embroidery. This is the sim thread brand. So, you know, every brand has a whole bunch of different types of variegated threads out there, but this particular thread that I used, and you can use anyone, you can use Madeira, I mean, there's tons of different threads, you can use any of your favorite threads, and it's just the regular color threads that you would need, but it will allow you to get that variegated look on the font. And you know, you don't have to go out and try to buy variegated thread, and then even if you do, you don't know if the colors are going to land exactly where you want them to be. So if I wanted the top of this G to be a different color than yellow, I would just pick, you know, the way the stitch is designed, it's going to allow you to change the colors 3 times. So you have the 3 options. So if I didn't want the yellow to be here, let's say I wanted a darker color, like a blue or something, you could do that. And the way the design is made, it will stop after each color. So it'll allow you to be able to make the change that you want to get that variegated look. So I thought that that was pretty cool. And I haven't seen anything out there in the market like that that'll allow you to do that type of font with that variegated look to it. So pretty cool. That's why I wanted to kind of bring that to your attention. Now and I can't remember where I saw it, somewhere I did see someone doing this type of font on a school folder. So we know it's back to school time, and we've got a lot of people out there. You know, schools in Florida start on Monday. So yeah, FYI, traffic is back for those of you that commute to work. So one of the things that they did in the videos that I saw is they took a bunch of folders, and you can get these at your local Walmart, or you can go to Dollar Tree. Actually got them in Walmart and they're 50 cents. So they have these real plastic folders that you can get, and they've got the little pockets. And so what people are doing are people are starting to embroider on the folders themselves. So they may put the kid's name on here, or, you know, if it's a math class, you want to put math. You know, there's tons of things that you can do, and you can stitch out on these folders. Now, you do have to be careful. These are the Walmart folders. They're 50 cents, and the plastic is very thin. You do not want to go out to another place and get folders that are thicker. That's not going to work. They have to be those cheapy, plasticky folders that will stitch out. Other folders, other brands, they may be too thick, and then it's not going to work on your machine. So, you know, these are the ones for Walmart. I was able to do it with the Walmart ones, and I didn't have any issues. So Dollar Tree is probably another best bet that you could do. But yeah, embroider on folders. Never would have thought about that, right? But, you know, school is coming up. The kids have their classes, and, you know, they like to have their little unique things. So maybe you can do a little folder with their names on it so they don't lose them. Or if it's their favorite subjects, you can put the subject on here and use that with a font. Or you can just do a very little design on here. Now, you have to be careful on the type of design that you're going to use on these folders, because you can't pick a design that's too dense. That's really not going to work. You're going to have puckering all over the place. So there's a set of designs that you can use that will really come out well on these types of folders. And I kind of made a little list. So let me go through the list. So fonts that you can use would be something like a sketch font, a bean font, a running font. They also have a triple bean and a floss font. All of these types of fonts are those open, airy types of fonts that have, similar to this, it's very open, it's not dense. So they have lines, and you can see the background coming through on there. So very, very light type fonts will work well on the folder. This is one that I did. Now, I used really dark colors, and I probably should have picked other colors, but I was kind of in the rush. This is one that I was able to do. And you can see that I was able to stitch out on it. Of course, because of the stitch out, it is not indented, but you can see, you know, where the actual stitching occurred. So let me give this a close-up for you guys. Now, I did use the same font, and I changed my thread colors 3 times on this one. So that's why you see all different colors on here. And I was just kind of playing around with it because I wanted to see what it would look like. And so I just have the words PDF. So this is where I kind of store a lot of my PDFs in here. And I have little projects and things. So I've got my own set of folders as well. So that kind of helps. And I just wanted to stitch that out. Now, you may ask, what does it look like on the other side? And I'll show you that. You just grab these out. Not too pretty on this side. You will see this on the other side. Now, if you change your bobbin to be the same color thread as your top thread, it may look a little nicer. I didn't do that. I just kept the regular white bobbin. And you can see little pieces of the stabilizer that was left over. I haven't even finished taking everything off. So it's not too pretty on the inside, but then again, it's going to be covered with papers and things and no one's really going to see it. Or you can just kind of put a piece of fabric or something to cover it if you wanted to. So that will be totally up to you. but this is, you know, what the folder came out with. But yeah, this is another neat idea, you know, folders. Now they do have paper folders that are out there, and the paper folders will probably be easier to stitch out, but they're paper. And if you're a mom, you know what those paper folders do. They last maybe 3 days, you know, because they're paper, it gets wet, it gets torn. They really don't last a long time. So I'm not really a fan of the paper ones because they just disintegrate in like 3 days. At least my kids didn't have them last more than a couple of days. And then we just went to the plastic folders, but now, you know, we're able to stitch out things on the plastic folders. So I thought that was a pretty cool, neat idea. I hadn't seen that. So if you're looking for a new back to school item that you can do, just to make something a little bit special for your little ones, that's something that you can do, is just kind of, you know, either stitch out their name or maybe their favorite team or their school name or something like that on the folder. And that's pretty cool to do. Now you may be asking what type of stabilizer I used. There's a few that you can use. Obviously you can use your tearaway stabilizer. For this particular project, I did use the Sulky self-adhesive sticky stabilizer. So, oops, sorry, I'm blocking the name. This is the one that I did use. It is by the brand Sulky. It's just the sticky stabilizer. So I used the sticky stabilizer because what I did when I created this design on the machine was I used my hoop and I hooped the sticky stabilizer onto the hoop, and then I floated my folder on top with the sticky stabilizer, and that held it down. Now I did watch for the first couple of stitches to make sure that it was gonna tack down correctly, so I did kind of just hold it a little lightly with my hands just to make sure it didn't shift. You can also put some tape around it to help it keep it in place, but it was really good that it didn't move. Once it started, I didn't have to worry about it, and it stitched out the rest of the way. Now for alignment, there's a couple of things that you can use for the alignment. You can eyeball it. That's, you know, just one way you can do it. That's what I kind of did on here. But you can also print out the template and see where you want to have it, or you can use a laser. If your machine has one, you're lucky enough to have a laser on your machine, or you could just buy a laser and, you know, just kind of, that'll help you. If you can kind of hang it kind of like on top and then just kind of line it up with the laser, and it'll allow you to kind of put it exactly where you need it to be on the hoop, so that when you bring it over to your embroidery machine, the alignment is exactly where you want to have it. So you could have it like down in the middle, down here, or up on the top, you know, however you want to do it. Now, just a warning, please do not try to stitch way down on the bottom where you have your pockets, because if you do stitch down there, you're not going to be able to use the pockets. So be careful with that. You know, you have to look at the folder that you're getting to see where you can actually make the stitch. So because the pocket is here, I actually only had from here to the top of the folder. That was my embroidery area that I could use without impacting the integrity of the actual use of the folder. So that's another project that's out there. Another tip for that, if you decide to embroider on some of these folders, is to maybe slow down your machine to maybe about 500. That's what I slowed it down to, and you know, it was great. You can leave it the way it is. I did that on another test that I did. Was fine, but I think the results was a little bit better when I slowed it down. So definitely a good tip for that. And so that was one little project where I had all my little folders embroidered. Now I haven't had time to finish them all, but I was able to just kind of start a few, and I'm just gonna, you know, do a couple that I'm gonna be using for my craft room. Now, another font or design that I wanted to show you, we kind of touched upon this, that I got the fabric for it. And this is a Mylar type of design. It's by Purely Gates, and I did get this design when I went to the expo a few months ago. And so you guys will probably see it for those of you who are going to the expo in Virginia. That's coming up end of September. Most likely they're probably going to be there too. But they're called Purely Gates, and they have these Mylar hot air balloon designs. And this is the one that I was purchased from them. And I really, really love these designs. And I've been looking for the perfect fabric to put these designs with. Now, these are Mylar designs. You do have to purchase the Mylar in order to get that shimmer that you want. But they also have just the little quotes. And one of them I thought was really nice. It says, "Life is a beautiful ride." And I really love that quote. And so I went out and was looking for the fabric that I showed you guys last week. And let me just pull it again so you guys could see it again. I have it on a hoop right now because I was looking at the alignment and I did cut out a piece. So this is a fabric that I got from Keepsake Quilting, and it's just basically clouds. So this is perfect for that design that I'm looking to do. So let me just grab the design because I left it underneath here. And so my plan is I've cut this into a size of like a wall hanger. So what my plan is to go ahead, and I've got a 5x7 hoop because I do have a Brother SC1900, and I'm going to be stitching out one of the quotes, one of my favorite ones, which is "Life is a beautiful ride." I went ahead and did a practice stitch of it, and this is what it looks like. There you go. And I thought it's really beautiful. And I thought this is going to look really nice stitched out here with this cloud fabric. And so I'm going to have that here. And then around this particular quote, I'm going to have all of the various different balloons that they have with the Mylar. So it'll have a little bit of that shimmer. And I thought this will just be a really beautiful wall hanging that I can do. And I love the clouds. It's just really going to come all together. And then I'll just put like a nice border around it. So this is one of the projects that I'm working on. And I just really love, I mean, it's stitched out really beautiful. This is just on a a practice piece of cloth that I just got. It's very cheap material, but that's how I do all my little practice stitches. And I just kind of threw it on the machine. I did use some tearaway stabilizer just to see what it would do. Tiny bit of puckering here and there, but you know, this was a practice one, so that's why I like to do these. Now it is a pretty dense stitch, especially here in the middle. So what does that mean? That means I'm gonna really look at the fabric that I'm using. This is a more expensive fabric, so it does, you know, it's not as cheap as this Dollar Tree one. But I am going to look at the type of stabilizer that I'm using, because this is a really dense stitch here in the middle. And it's stitched out beautifully. It really, it had some jump threads on the design, but not too many. I expected a lot more of them. So I really like the way this came out. I may change up the colors just a little bit here and there. But I really loved the quote itself. I loved how it came out, and I'm gonna go ahead and stitch that on here. I'm gonna change up maybe double up on my stabilizer because of this density here. I want to make sure I don't get any puckers on here, and I think it's going to come out really nice. So once I have it all done, I'll share it with you guys to show you. Oh, thanks, Donna. So the idea would make an awesome wall hanging for a classroom. Yes, young kids would love the clouds and the balloons. That's so true. That would look beautiful in a classroom, wouldn't it? And it's just an inspiration for the kids. I mean, I really love it. They have really beautiful sayings. Besides this one, they have rise and shine, the sky's the limit, love is in the air. And a lot of these are different hoop sizes. So this section here is the 5x7 hoop size. These are all the designs you can do for the 5x7. They also have the 8x8 hoop and the 8x12 hoop. And what's really great about this one is they also have quilting motifs, and they're kind of hard to see on here. Don't know if you guys can make that out. Let me see if I can put something underneath it. May make it a little better, just so you guys could see it. I mean, the quilting motifs are gorgeous. And that also comes with the design. They have a horizontal as well as kind of a vertical one. And they're basically balloons within the motif. And it's really, really neat. It's a nice one. They also include the border design. So if you are putting a border to it, which I am, and I'm kind of debating if I'm going to be doing that, is when I put my border in, I may quilt it with that motif on the border, and that would make it look really, really nice. So this is my other project that I'm doing for myself, kind of practicing with that and using the Mylar with that. It's just one of my little projects that I think will be really, really neat. I know you guys should be getting pretty busy by now because it is close to Christmas time. So definitely, you know, you will want to look out for these projects and try to get them done quickly because we're in August already. Okay, Jackie says, Nancy, iron some SF101 under it and it should help with the puckering. Great idea. Thank you, Jackie. I will definitely look at that. Yes. Let's see. Donna ordered some old school fabric from the Fat Quarter Shop. My niece is teaching grade 1 and needs decor for her classroom. We'll make a wall hanging. Oh, how sweet, Donna. I'm sure she's gonna love that. The kids will love that. Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so a couple other things that I had was a thread burner. So this is a new gadget, well, new to me, that I found out was out there. And company name, I might jack up the name on this one. It's EcoKeel. It's ETCOKEI. This is what it looks like. It's called a thread burner. And basically what this is, this kind of replaces, you know, for a lot of the people that are sewing out there that typically just use a lighter, this is a thread burner. And so what you do is charge it up. It's got a USB that you charge it up, and once it's charged up, it'll last for a really long time. Is what it says. And you power this up, and it's just basically zaps, and it's got this little point here. Let me see if I put it in my hand. And let me put, so you can see the little point on here. You can see it's got a tiny little point there. So that is what will get very, very hot. And basically this will burn off the threads. So like fraying that you have, any threads that are sticking up on your project, you will basically just kind of touch it and it burns off the thread from your project, versus you having to fuss with a lighter and possibly burn your fabric. So this is kind of a little bit more controlled, and it allows you to just go through and burn your threads very easily. And it is wireless, so it makes it nice and easy. It's nice and small. You just have to touch the button and it'll turn on, and it gets to the temperature right away, and then you can go ahead and burn those little threads. So I thought it was a neat little gadget. Doesn't really cost much. I did get it off of Amazon. It was like 20 bucks. So I thought this was really neat to have, versus me fussing with a lighter, because the lighter kind of makes me a little bit nervous. I don't really know, but yeah, Jenny, new toy to play with. Yay. Definitely. I thought it was pretty cool. Oh, Donna says she bought a thread burner, but she has not used it yet. Girl, get it out of the box. At the time, I was doing a lot of key fobs and other in the hoop designs and really thought I would use it a lot. Yeah, and you know, the thing is, you know, especially for those fabrics, like those kind of, I do a lot of these, you know, Dollar Tree fabrics that I use for these little sample stitch outs, because I do like to stitch things out before I put them on the nice fabric or the item that I'm going to use. And so you could see here, look at all the fraying and things that happen on here. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. And then you can see some of the jump threads that maybe you just can't get with that little snip that you have. You could just take the little thread burner and go that way too. Just be very careful not to burn your actual stitch out, right? So I just like it because it gives you a little bit more precision, and it allows you to get really close to those areas that are really hard to get to. So I thought that would be a neat little gadget that I saw, and I went ahead and picked it up. It was relatively inexpensive. You can get it off of Amazon. So something I had never heard of and I thought was pretty neat. So thought I'd share that with you guys. And Donna said, we buy gadgets. Some we use daily and others languish in a drawer. We never know which items will be used a lot. That's so true, Donna. So true. But I know I had a couple of instances where this could have been really handy, because sometimes, you know, you have your snips, and I do have the snips with the curve on here, but sometimes even with that, it's like, it's got that little bit of fuzz or that little bit of something that just stays, that irks me. And so I want to just get in there and get it off. And I think with the burner, it's really going to help me to do that. So really, really good. Now, crafting with Robins, there's always those gadgets I need, but then I forget what they are. Yeah, I definitely have to, when you get things, take them out of the box, use them, because these tools really do help you with your projects and helping you improve. And some things may work for you and some things may not. You have to find out what works for you. So definitely, you know, kind of go through that and see what works for you. It may not work for you, but you got to give it a try to see. So let's see. I think I covered all of the items that I wanted. Now I do have, it's not going to be an unboxing per se, but I was, and it's kind of have it over here on the side. I'll see if I can bring it out. It's kind of big. I did receive the tumbler press machine, and it did come in. So last week I showed you guys that I got the Epson Eco Tank. Now I received the tumbler press machine. So gonna have a lot of fun once I figure out how to station this in the craft room, because, you know, I really liked some of the items that I've seen out there. So I thought it was a lot of fun, and I thought, you know, this is gonna be great for me to, you know, just have more gifts and things to share, especially with the upcoming Christmas season, where things have gotten extremely expensive. And so we're going to look for alternate ways to be able to craft more gifts rather than purchase them at the store. So yeah, yeah, Judy, ooh, I've got new toys. I've got a few new toys, right? I've got my thread burner, I've got the press machine, and I've got the Epson EcoTank printer. So yeah, I've got some toys. I just got to find a place to put them. And we're working on that. We're trying to see what we can do here. I've got a pretty small craft room, but I'm gonna see, you know, what I can do here. And let me just bring this over to the side, because there's a lot of little projects that I want to do, and I do have a list going and things that I'm gonna be sharing with you guys. Got a little behind because I really was not feeling well, but I've turned the corner. I think we're almost there yet. So now I can start speeding up and going through all of the things that have to get done. And I do have a few things that I am behind on. So we have been doing a lot of work behind the scenes as well. And we're looking to also launch some of our lives on Facebook. So if anyone is out there that has not joined our Facebook group, please go ahead and do so. It'll help the channel. And then we're going to see if we can start to stream live on Facebook as well, and just kind of expand out that way, so we can get more crafters, more ideas, more tips and tricks, and we can share them all together. So I hope that you guys really enjoy that. So thanks again for tuning in. I know our hour is up. New toys means new ideas for us. I love it. Thank you, 1 Minute Tips. And Donna says she's going to post a photo of her favorite snipper scissors. Oh, nice. Thank you. Yes, Donna. I've used them for years and I love them. Highly recommend. Please do. I would love to see which ones they are. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys have any gadgets, tools, things that you really love and really work for you, please go ahead and post them on our Facebook page, because I want to share all those tools. You know, tools really make a difference when you are working on a project, and some things really will help others when they are doing things. So definitely we want to check that. Oh, Jenny says congratulations, another big toy to play with. Yay. And to tell your hubby you're taking over the master bedroom. Yeah, Jenny, you know, I just may take over another room in the house. We just haven't told him yet. We're expanding, and the little room, it's a 10 by 10 room, so it's a really small room, but you know, we just might be expanding to another room. I just need the space. We're growing, and we're learning, and we're getting into so many new things, and we're really becoming experts at our little projects. So definitely. Oh, thank you, Donna. She said, glad you're feeling better. Always looking forward to your live stream. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate it. Yeah, I do feel a lot better. I feel like I'm turning that corner. It was pretty bad. It was really, really bad. But yeah, lots and lots of things to do now, because now that I've got feeling better and I've got a little bit of that energy back, I'm looking at my pile of things to do and my list that's growing, and I really need to get to it. So we're going to be really busy. We have been working behind the scenes and getting things up, trying to get things to be able to go live on Facebook. So we're going to be working on that as well. So tons of things that hubby's working on, I'm working on. We also have our CD volume 2 coming out, so that's going to be coming really, really soon. So I hope you guys really enjoy all the content that we give, and we're going to do some more projects and things that are really coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I hope you guys really enjoy your weekend, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
Nancy with GiftsHQ makes crafting videos, creating with passion and a love for what she sews. Crochet, quilting, and sewing, crafting is what she knows. Making smiles one craft at a time. your talent will grow. With every stitch and every thread, she weaves her art. Her hands create something special straight from the heart. And as the colors come alive, the joy spreads near and far.